Aloha. I'm here to talk about the credit union way. I'm wearing my Aloha shirt because this story involves Hawaii. So we all know what happened on December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor was attacked. But on December 5th, which was a Friday, all of the military in that area had, well, at least the ones that's banked at Hickman Credit Union, had brought their passbook, because that's how it was done back in 1941. You would bring in your passbook and they would tally how much you had earned and put it in your account and then note it on your passbook and then give you your passbook back maybe midweek, early to midweek the following week. But as we know, on December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked. Now, the reason I bring this up, because this is the length that a credit union employee would go. Maybe this is the most extreme, but when P.W. Eldred heard the fire, the bombing, and the attack, he left his house a few blocks away and made his way towards the Hickam Field, which is where, in a hangar, the credit union was housed. So if you look at this diagram, you can see that Hickam Airfield and the credit union wasn't too far from Pearl Harbor where the attack was, but the whole area was attacked. And after the attack, this is what the credit union looked like. But let me get back to PW, because PW decided he was worried that if there was an attack on the credit union, all those passbooks and the money and everything would be lost. So he ran towards the fire. And when he got to the field, he sprinted across the runway to get to the credit union. And unfortunately, he was killed in a hail of gunfire. But who does that? Who would risk their lives to save the deposits of the members? Well, P.W. Eldred would. But that story, maybe that is the most extreme somebody would go. But that story has been replicated hundreds of times. And that's when you're a member of a credit union, I mean, that's the kind of level of commitment you get from the people who work there. And so all of those deposits and the passbooks were lost in the bombing. Because after he was gunned down on his way to the hangar where the credit union was, they bombed the hangar. And I think I showed you some photos there. So the employees, not soon after the attack, made everybody whole. By memory, they figured out who had what money, and they tried to remember how much it was, and they tried to put everything back together. And they did. 400 passbooks were returned, were recreated and returned to the servicemen that used Hickam Credit Union. Hickam Federal Credit Union still exists to this day. So a little bit of a somber note, but I guess the message is, when you're with a credit union, you have people who are committed to you and your financial security. And that's something pretty special. So mahalo and aloha.